Hey, y'all. Why am I like that? I can't hear anything because I don't have my headphones in yet. I want to thank you for being here. I just want to let y'all know that today we are going to talk about little John Boley, and Sydney Marquez. Sydney was missing and then located, but not located by her parents. It seems she doesn't want to be found, and John was missing 4-year old. So I'm gonna play this intro and then we will get into that. It will also be a chill stream. We can talk about really whatever y'all want to after we talk about these cases. I did get my missing children's video up. That is the most important part of the intro. So please at least watch that. I will be right back. Thank you for being here.
Listen up, I gotta tell you, there is something you should know. I have never really liked you at all. I cannot hide it anymore. I've been thinking about the future, trying to forget about the past. So many ways that I could change for the better. Don't even know where to begin. If I allow myself to dream, will it be as good as it seems? Pull me out of this place in the middle, in the middle. Nothing more to embrace in the middle, in the middle. If I try to climb up the wall, everyone can see when I fall. Take me up into the mountains, send me off into the wild. Misery is still a path I would choose if the alternatives are worse. I guess it's time to find a friend, one who will stick by to the end. Going out of my mind in the middle, in the middle. Wasting all of my time in the middle, in the middle. I take the vibe and spit it out, unaware of what it's about. I'm not that good at faking it. I feel somehow I've broken it. I don't believe I'm part of it. In the middle. If I try to climb up the wall, everyone can see when I fall. Nothing really matters at all. Pull me out of this place in the middle, in the middle. Nothing more to embrace in the middle, in the middle.
Are we gonna play it? No? Not today, Stacy? Okay. Well, I guess we're not going to play it. And my video didn't upload, so this should be an interesting stream. Everything's already messing up. Let's roll with it. It's good to see y'all. Thank you so much for being here. Let me put your comments on the stream. Why isn't my stuff loading? Lord of mercy. Southern Cats, good to see you. Jenny, Jen, and Indy, good to see you. Forrest, good to see you. Rachel, good to see you. And thank you for being here. Rubber Ramada, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Shelby and Rosie, it's good to see y'all. Thank you so much for being here. Tom, good to see you. And Cindy from sunny South Florida, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here. One sunny day, good to see you. Karen Della Rocca, good to see you. And thank you for being here. Hannah, thank you for being here. Jenny Jen, A1 from day one. And Lori Ann, thank you for being here. I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. I'm going to see if my missing children's video has uploaded by chance. Probably not, because everything's being crazy today. It's really important to get these out here, so I'm going to see, but I doubt it. It'll definitely be ready by next time. I don't know why my stuff's not uploading. My internet's decided that it's not going to work, evidently. I've got to get new internet. I don't see it. All right. So I'm sure y'all have heard about the cases that we're going to talk about. If you haven't, we're going to go back over it again. I don't know much about John, who went missing. Yeah, my video's not uploaded. It's only at 10%, so I'll play it at some point. DJ, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Edith, thank you so much for gifting a membership, and it's good to see you, my love. I really appreciate that. I can't see who that membership went to just yet. Actually, maybe I can. Hold on just a minute. Hold on just a minute. Lord have mercy. I'm gonna have to get with these children and get them off of the internet. Hold on a minute. Let me unplug this camera too. That might help. That membership went to Indy. Thank you so much, Edith, for gifting a membership. And that went to Indy. Indy, if you don't mind, please tell Edith, thank you for the membership. That was so very sweet and supportive of you. And I really appreciate it. Let me grab the crazy train to pick you up, Indy, on the way to Speculation Station. I don't like it's playing. Maybe it played, maybe it didn't. I don't know. All right. Hold on just a minute. It went to Indy, I know. Yay. Let me put this up for you real quick and give me 1 second while I try to fix this. We'll start with Sydney. Because I do have a video that I can play to remind you of who Sydney is. So a couple of days ago when we were talking about Camilla missing before she was located, we watched a video, and in this video by Brian Enton, he went over Sydey Marques, who was missing. I keep wanting to say Sydney Sweeney. I don't know why. And so I'm going to remind you of what was being said at that time while I try to fix this internet. Is everything okay, DJ? I'm in the hospital. I'm so sorry. I've been at the hospital for the past.
That could even take 1 or 2 days. This is.
I've been at the hospital for the past couple of days myself, and I'm sorry you're going through that. That's just horrible. And I'll keep you in my thoughts and prayers. This is where he starts talking about Sydey Marques. So she was located. Thank you so much, Indy. I really appreciate that. I'm going to remind you, refresh your memory on what was said, and then we'll talk about the new updates.
This is very active, and I think people can help by watching this video, and we need to get the word out on this one. She's a former Texas A&M student. She is a neuroscience graduate. She's a daughter. She's a sister. She's a friend. A wonderful, wonderful young woman. Again, I spoke to her parents, which you're going to hear that interview in a second, and I'm also going to speak to a former FBI agent about the case. Tonight, she's a missing person in Houston. Sydney disappeared late on the night of December 11th while she was out visiting friends. There's surveillance video that shows her walking in an area near where she was staying. It's around midnight, and then there's just no confirmed sightings after that. Her car was later found abandoned in Southwest Houston. Her parents they've traveled to Houston from their home in El Paso. They remain there right now, helping to investigate this, looking into any leads. Again, her car has been found. phone has been found, but Sydney is nowhere to be found. I spoke with her parents on News Nation. Take a listen to this. Have you gotten any new updates from police? Because from what we've been told, that piece of surveillance video is really the last time she was seen.
Well, we ran into some footage on Friday. So we got her about 1.5 miles from that's it right there, exactly. So that's the last time we saw her, it's about 12:27 a.m. She's literally 150 yards from her hotel. So she was trying to get to her hotel, but for some reason or another, she kept going westbound on Harlan, and that's the last footage we have. Right now, we're crossing our fingers that Starbucks is kind enough to share the footage when she crosses the flyway, so we could continue continue connecting the dots from there.
Do you have?
Might help if I unmute. That's about 20 minutes from you. I saw that you posted about it, and I appreciate you doing that. Lord, what is going on? Okay. I appreciate you doing that, and I'll actually pull up your post. So that was the information we had at the time. Since then, there has been new information released. I'll read to you what my article says so I can go ahead and close it, and then I'll pull up Rubber's post that she made, letting us know that she had been found. I will try to, DJ, if I can. My stuff is not working very well right now. But I will at some point. Yes. Hopefully, if it starts working better, I can. So this is the information that we have. This is from one day ago, and it says why police say they couldn't hold Sydey Marques and instead released her before her parents arrived. So here is Sydney. She's been found. And it reads, the Jersey Village Police Department issued a statement later Friday that explained why they chose not to hold Sydey Marques, who was reported missing more than 3 weeks ago. According to JVPD, a person called 911 on Friday around 1 a.m. after spotting a woman walking along the road that matched Sydney's description. Officers responded to the scene and found her along Seattle Street near Senate Avenue, just off the Northwest Freeway. The officers said they recognized her from a missing person flyer that was previously distributed by Texas EquiSearch. The Jersey Village Police Department said an officer contacted the Houston Police Department, which is the lead agency in the missing person case, and told the detective assigned to the case where Sydney had been found. Sydney's father, Raul Marques, also told JVPD, JVPD, and told them that his daughter has had a history of mental health issues. He said he was in El Paso, but would not be getting on the first flight available. Okay, I'm so sorry. Let me take a second. See something, say something, always. Always. Hold on a minute. I'm going to try to yeet myself real quick and see if that helps with this situation. Okay, let's try that again. So her father said he would be on the first flight available to Houston. I'm sorry. Yeah, first flight to Houston. So here is a video that we're going to watch on the situation. And I want to talk to you guys about mental health and why this woman might not want to be found. Like, why would she run away from her family and not want to be found? Some people had suspected this because when we heard about this, we heard that she had left her class ring and her phone in the hotel when she left. So some people questioned if she might not want to be found, but she's like a neuroscience student. So it's kind of weird for me, especially understanding why you wouldn't want to be found. Hey, Daria, good to see you. Is everything going okay? Indy, are you okay? You have a kidney infection. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. That's horrible. Content, good to see you, love. Thank you for being here. I'm so sorry you're going through that, sweetheart. All right, so here is what the news is saying about it right now.
This evening, brand new details after 24-year-old Sydey Marques was found alive nearly 3 weeks after she went missing. Tonight, family tells KHU 11 News they still have not been able to speak with her and don't know where she is this evening. Orco Manna joins us live from Jersey Village. Orco, we just got a statement from police. What did they have to say?
Yeah, Mia, that update from Jersey Village Police just came down a few minutes ago. They say that they talked with Sydey Marques briefly this morning, but determined that she was not a threat or in danger to herself or to others, so they let her go. Police also say that they offered help to Sydney, but she declined. Now take a look at this. This is surveillance video showing who investigators say is Sydney walking down the street in Southwest Houston shortly before she was reported missing on December 11th. Jersey Village Police say that someone spotted Sydney just before 1 o'clock this morning at the intersection of Seattle Street and Senate Avenue.
Oh, holy shit. Hold on. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. Jesus.
Call police. As I mentioned, police say they spoke to Sydney, but say she was not a danger to herself or others. And officers also say that the legal criteria for an emergency detention order were not met. Police say EMS gave a medical evaluation to Sydney on the scene and determined there were no visible signs of trauma and no immediate need for further medical attention. Police also say that officers offered Sydney help, including hotel accommodations and food, but she refused. Officers say Sydney requested to leave of her own free will, and she did not want any help, so she was released. Sydney's family says police should not have let her walk away.
So what do you do in this moment? She's 24 years old, and technically she doesn't have to go back home if she doesn't want to. But her family is concerned about her mental health. I don't think anything could be done that wasn't done. I think if the police evaluate you and you seem like you're cognitively there and you're 24 years old and you're old enough to say, I don't want to be around my family. I don't want to see them. I don't want them to locate me right now. I don't think there's anything that they can do. They can make sure to the best of their ability she's not having a mental health crisis. But once they check that and find out that she's not, there's not anything they can do if she doesn't want to be located. She's 24, Tom. Yeah, I can't make her go home. But it's sad because now the family's going to be thinking that it's just because of the mental health episode or her mental health in general that she's not coming home. And it might be she just might not want to come home. She might want to try to go down a different road in life. I don't know. But it's sad. I think she should still contact her family. Yeah, they did everything they could do. Exactly, Rachel. So there's not much that can be done. Walking alone at 1 a.m. on the streets is not good. No, and it's indicative of possibly a mental health episode. But I mean, the only thing they can do is check her through the EMS or medical professionals. And if they say she's good, I mean, she's good. Hey, Karen, good to see you. Must be so hard for the family wanting to help, but she doesn't want them to. I couldn't imagine. It's really sad. Yeah, they can't put her on the hold unless she's a danger. And that makes it more difficult because, I mean, I'm sure the family's like, okay, well, do you know for sure she's not having a mental health episode? And I mean, they can say, yeah, to the best of our ability, but what can they do? Southern Cats, I don't know if I said hey to you, love, but it's good to see you.
You know, when we found out that she was taken to the police, we were so grateful and like, this is over, we're done. And then we got the call 2 hours later, they released her. I just don't even know what to say. We're just disappointed.
If they held her for 2 hours, I think that's long enough to do an evaluation and figure out that, like Rachel said, they can't put her on a hold unless she's in danger. And so they had enough time to evaluate her and make sure she was okay. I mean, their hands are tied in that moment because she's an adult.
And our frustration really is that, the police just didn't hold up their end of the deal by taking her to a hospital.
But the police can't force her to go to a hospital. One Sunny Day said she is 24. She's obviously smart by her college. Calling mental health on her just to control her is not fair. And I agree. But if they think that she's having, they would want to get that checked and just be 100% positive that it's not some type of mental health episode. But obviously, she's an adult. She's doing good in school. She can make it on her own. I mean, they just can't do anything else. She is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous.
Now, police say Sydney initially agreed to leave with the co-founder of the Texas Counter-Trafficking Initiative, who was contacted by Sydney's father, but she later declined after speaking with them. Sydney told police that she would reach out to her mother via email at a later time. Now, Jersey Village police also say that there were no indications of any criminal activity related to this incident, but of course, the family is still wondering at this moment where Sydney is, and they have not been able to speak with her directly. Reporting live here in Jersey Village tonight, Orko Manna, KHOU.
That's really sad. The article continues. Medical professionals showed up and took her vitals and found no signs of trauma or need for further evaluation. After interviewing Sydney, officers determined she wasn't a danger to herself or others. They said the legal criteria for an emergency detention order was not met. And that's where they have to leave it, because otherwise they could get sued. You can't hold somebody against their will when they've not committed a crime. You can't blame the police in this situation. Thank God she's alive. Exactly, Rosie. Rachel said, "It's so difficult. I've been there. My dad was schizophrenic and he had become a danger to himself before I could get a court order to try to get him help. I'm so sorry." That had to be really difficult, Rachel, and I'm sorry you went through that. That's awful. I'm wondering if you had a diagnosis like that, why they couldn't automatically hold. I mean, I guess it would be the same if they're not a danger to themselves. There's not much you can do. The article continues. Raul Marquez got in touch with the Texas Counter Trafficking Initiative, which sent a representative to the police department. After initially agreeing to leave with the representative, Sydney later declined to do so after talking to him. The representative asked Sydney to contact her parents, and she said she would reach out to her mom via email at some point. Sydney asked to leave and said she didn't want any assistance. JVPD said she was released before her parents got there. Quote, "At the time of the encounter, Sydney did not appear to be in crisis. As an adult, she was removed from missing status and released," JVPD said in a statement. Police said they offered to help her, including hotel accommodations and food, but she declined. She was last seen walking along the Northwest Freeway near Senate Avenue. JVPD officers met with Sydney's parents to review the body-worn camera footage. At their request, the footage won't be released to the public. Her parents asked that if anyone sees Sydney, they call the police to conduct a welfare check. Authorities said there is no indication that criminal activity is involved, and anyone with more information about the case is asked to call JVPD at 713-466-5824. She first went missing near the 9100 block of Bel Air Boulevard, close to Ranchester Road on December 11th. There were search efforts. Search organizers said the footage didn't indicate that she was in distress. They spent days publicly urging anyone with information to come forward. Family members previously said Marquez struggles with mental health challenges and was not taking her medication at the time she disappeared. Her father said she had wandered off alone before. On the night she went missing, family members said Marquez was visiting friends in Houston and left alone for several hours. If you are going through anything, or anybody you know is going through anything mental health crisis related, you can text 988 for help. I hope you had a good New Year too. My dear, Basil's trying to get in. Hold on just a minute. Let me get him. I don't think he got in. Yes, he did. Boy, what are you doing? You don't like bullies or drama? I don't either, really. Sadly, all they can do is keep trying. Exactly. I mean, and if she won't talk to him, she won't talk to him. But it's got to be hard knowing that she's disappeared before, and it was because of mental health related reasons. And they know that because the family knows her better than anybody. But the authorities are bound by law, so they can only do what they can. I mean, their hands are tied, unfortunately. I hope you all had a good new year. So while I was at the hospital with my daughter, Johnathan John Boley went missing. Now, I didn't know much about this case. I was following it briefly when I could, when I was in the waiting room and stuff, but I'm going to kind of read you about the case and what happened, and we can talk about what we think and all that. Missing 12 days. Where's she staying? Evidently, they just found her walking. What that means, I don't know. So, this is Johnathan John Boley. He was 4 years old and he went missing, I think in Alabama, but was from Florida. This is his dog. It's a really sad story. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that. The article reads, missing 4-year-old Johnathan John Boley found deceased in a wooded area in Alabama. And then this is the dog. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Under the photo, it reads Johnathan Boley, 5, disappeared from his father's Walker County home December 31st of 2025. Johnathan John Boley, the 4-year-old boy who went missing on New Year's Eve, was found deceased today in a wooded area near his father's home in Walker County. Sheriff Nick Smith said there was no immediate signs of foul play, and it appears the boy wandered off while playing with his brother. A volunteer doing a grid search discovered John's body near a creek in a wooded area about 2 miles from his father's home in the Thatch community. He was so adorable. A poor baby. The family's dog was found alive near John's body, the sheriff said. That's what stood out to me. This dog stayed by his side the whole time and just I mean, he couldn't keep him warm. I don't know how the boy died. I'm assuming the elements, and it's really sad that the dog, thank you, Buck, that is his name. Thank you for that, Karen. That Buck stayed by his side and just stayed there for as long as he could and just never left. And I can't imagine that the dog wasn't barking or whining or doing something that somebody could hear, because I know they were looking for the dog. Like, no, the dog didn't bark or anything. That's a good dog, but it's sad. We don't deserve dogs, and dogs are amazing. All animals are amazing, I think. Poor baby. The sheriff said, we are devastated by this news. This is going to be a very hard time for our community. It's going to be a very hard time for the volunteer team that did an outstanding job to find John. Quote, this is not the outcome we wanted to see, the sheriff said. We were hopeful for a positive outcome. Smith asked everyone to be respectful of the family's privacy. At a press conference earlier on Friday, the sheriff appealed to the public for help. Quote, I need your help, Smith said. Quote, I need you to bring John home. My concern is finding and bringing home John. He was last seen at 11:30 a.m. on Wednesday in the 7,000 block of Highway 195 in Jasper. His brother told authorities he last saw John near the wood line going under a fence and went to tell his father. The child was last known to be wearing a Mickey Mouse shirt, black pants, and Paw Patrol shoes. He was with his family's Labrador Retriever mix, Buck. Quote, he loves the outdoors, unquote, Smith said of John. Quote, him and his brother were very adventurous. Quote, I guess the best way to describe them is boys being boys. They're just all boy, the sheriff said. Smith said Isaac told investigators he and John were out playing when he disappeared. Smith said law enforcement received a call shortly before 12:30 p.m. and arrived at the home by 1 p.m. As they cleared the house to make sure John wasn't inside, they discovered explosives and had to back out for safety reasons. Quote, the search of the house was suspended due to the explosives in the house. Smith said the FBI is handling that aspect. Their bomb squad is making it safe and secure so we can continue the search of the house. The boy's father, Jamison Kyle Boley, 40, was arrested on charges unrelated to the disappearance. So it's my understanding, and this article might not talk about it, rumor has it, I'll say, because it's just what I've heard briefly on the case. The father was in the military and he got arrested for the explosives that were in the house, and they thought there were explosives across the street, but they weren't explosives. And that the mother, when she got a divorce, she had custody of the children and thought the father would kill the children. And the father only had 5 days of visitation a year, I do believe. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know why he had explosives. Tannerite was mentioned, which, to be fair, I know a lot of people who have tannerite. It's for removing stumps and stuff like on farm property. I don't know why he had it specifically and why there was explosives in the house or what's going on with that, but oh, really? Well, that's perfect. Thank you for that. Let me grab them. Let's get them charging documents real quick. Where did you put them at, Hannah? Thank you so much for that, Hannah. I really appreciate that. I haven't even looked. Y'all, I need to get on my Discord more than I do. All right. While I'm waiting for that to pull up, I'll continue reading the article and then we'll look at the charging documents. He was initially charged Thursday with the unlawful manufacturing of a destructive device or bacteriological or biological weapon. Court records made public Friday show Boley is also charged with 2 counts of chemical endangerment of a child. And then it talks about the charging documents. But we can just pull them up. Hold on just a minute. I'm trying to find them. Okay, I've got them. I gotta email them to myself. So give me just a minute. Just a minute. Lord, it might help if I attach the daggum documents, wouldn't it? Yeah. What the? I'm sorry, y'all. I know I'm being quiet. I'm not. Oh my God. Why is it being so difficult? I'm gonna have to screenshot it. Like, none of my shit's working right. This is insane. Hold on. Okay. Get it together. Get it together, woman. We're going to be working with screenshots, unfortunately, because it's not wanting to work. Okay. I'm waiting for it to send it now. Okay. I should have it. Lord have mercy. I apologize. let's pull it up. Hey, Abellis, Happy New Year's. And Abraham, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you, Abellis, for coming in. It's good to see you. Let's pull up these documents. What am I doing? Lord, I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached to my shoulders. Okay. There we go. Okay. So this document is the complaint. It says document 3. Let me see if the other one is. I think they're both the same. I mean, I don't think it matters which one first. We'll start with this one. This is the complaint, State of Alabama, Unified Judicial System in the District Court of Walker County, Alabama, State of Alabama versus Jamison Kyle Boley. Before me, the undersigned does believe that Jamison Kyle Boley, the defendant, whose name is otherwise unknown to the complainant, did prior to the commitment of this action on or about December 31st of 2025 at 12 p.m. commit the offense of unlawful manufacture of a destructive device, a type F felony within the county of Walker. I do believe it's felony. So it says unlawful manufacture of a destructive device did on or about the date of 12/31/2025 while at or near 7333 Highway 195, Jasper, Walker County, Alabama, did Mr. Kyle Jamison Boley, who is not otherwise authorized by state or federal law or a permit issued to him or her by the state fire marshal, possess, prosecure, possess, prosecure substances. I know I said that wrong. I apologize. As determined in section in any amount with the intent of unlawfully manufacturing a destructive device or a bacteriological weapon in violation of the Code of Alabama. And then he got 2 child chemical endangerment, child exposure charges. Center substance, chemical endanger child exception center control substance on or about the date of December 31st of 2025 while at or near the address in Walker County, Alabama, Mr. Kyle Boley being a responsible person, to wit, the father, knowingly, recklessly, or intentionally caused or permit a child, to wit, John and Isaac Boley, had the opportunity to be exposed to ingest or inhale or to have contact with a controlled substance, a chemical substance, or drug paraphernalia as defined in the Code of Alabama, to wit, methamphetamine. So I was looking for that because I'd heard something about methamphetamine use. That explains the explosives 100% to me. Madeline, good to see you. And Kim, good to see you. When you talk about methamphetamine use and being in the South, and well, I mean, not necessarily, for me, like, that makes perfect sense that you would be manufacturing the explosives if you're using methamphetamine, because it makes you very paranoid. You could possibly think they're shadow people. It's just a horrible drug that makes you really, really paranoid. So to me, it makes perfect sense. I think that so these charges are for the children, saying that they could be exposed to chemical substances, methamphetamine. So hold on. Had the opportunity to control substance, chemical substance, or drug paraphernalia. I don't know. It doesn't tell me, because of what, okay. He's either manufacturing methamphetamine or he has methamphetamine and is manufacturing explosives. The problem with me understanding which one is that in order to manufacture methamphetamine, you need pretty much the same things you would use to manufacture explosives. So it could be either one. Oh, hold on. Sorry about that. Let me pull that back up. I don't know if you've ever seen them make it, but there's a lot of things that you would use to manufacture both things that are the same. I'm going to read it again. Chemical and danger of a child exposed and CTN controlled substance. I think he had a controlled substance, and then the children were exposed to the chemical as well. So, Mr. Boley, being a responsible person, the father knowingly, recklessly, or intentionally caused or permitted a child, to wit, John and Isaac Boley, had the opportunity to be exposed to ingest or inhale, or to have contact with a controlled substance, chemical substance, or drug paraphernalia as defined in the code, to wit, methamphetamine. So, this is saying they could have been exposed to methamphetamine. So I don't know if he just had the drug, but I've heard that there was explosives. Let's go back to the article and check that, because they talk specifically about explosives, I do believe. I'm thinking he had both. I think he was making methamphetamine, or at least had methamphetamine, and was also making explosives. Okay. It says specifically the search of the house was suspended due to the explosives in the house. The FBI is handling that aspect. Their bomb squad is making it safe and secure. So that makes me feel like he had methamphetamine and was manufacturing explosives, but the FBI would have handled it the same way regardless, because if you're using those chemicals that you would use to make bombs to make methamphetamine, then they're going to handle it the same way regardless. Some of the chemicals are the same. He could have been making both, yeah. And it's upsetting thinking about the mother with her child, with the children, saying that, she was scared he was going to kill them, and then this happening with John. I don't think that it had to do with that necessarily. I think he just wandered off, and whatever happened. It was unrelated, but if he hadn't been making bombs or on the math, maybe he would have had a better eye on him. You don't need explosives to make it, but ingredients are highly flammable and the process can explode. Okay, so yeah. So would they consider it if they came into a house where the chemicals, like you're right in the middle of making it, right? And it could explode. It's in that process where it could explode. Would they treat it like it was an explosive? Like if you've got a lab and you're making it and it's in the moment where it could explode right when they bust in the house, I'm thinking they would treat it the same way. But it says the search of the house was suspended due to the explosives in the house. The FBI is handling that aspect. The bomb squad is making it safe and secure so we can continue the search of the house. And then it says charging documents state that Johnathan John Boley and his 6-year-old brother Isaac had the opportunity to be exposed to methamphetamine. If they had the opportunity to be exposed to it, then I'm thinking that the methamphetamine might have been in a different location than the bomb making substances. I just remember in BB that Walter White mentioned it could be explosive. Oh, Breaking Bad, yeah. Yeah, you haven't ever seen like I've seen stories where labs have exploded and shit. Boley appeared in court on Friday morning. Volunteer searchers gathered Thursday morning at Cornerstone Assembly of God in Walker County. EMA officials were also on site. The volunteer search was later suspended after explosives were found in the woods surrounding the home. Okay, that's important. So that means that he had meth. He had the meth and he was making explosives, because they suspended search after explosives were found in the woods surrounding the house. And to me, that makes perfect sense, because when you're talking about methamphetamine, they're going to get really paranoid, and it makes sense that he would have explosives in the woods in case people came up on him. But having children running around in those woods, That's not good. And that makes me concerned about John, and what really happened. I like Huskies too. I think he succumbed to the elements. It was 22 the night he went missing. I do wonder about the dog not being seen since the 26th, though. Yeah, I heard the dog was seen on a trail cam, and that was it. I can't imagine that dog sat out there with him and didn't make any noises at all. I just don't see that. Carr said in Missouri, someone got arrested for attempting to make a math lab in Walmart. Lord have mercy, Jesus. What kind of shit is that? Smith said at least 8 other devices were found, but he wasn't sure if they were charged pending examination by FBI explosive experts. Quote, neighbors say they've been hearing explosions for weeks now, the sheriff said. They didn't really know where it was coming from. The morning before the report came in, one of the neighbors reported they heard an explosion about 4 a.m., Smith said on Thursday. Quote, I can't say that's any connection to the missing child. Multiple law enforcement agencies are on scene, including the FBI, the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, and its State Bureau of Investigation, as well as police officers from Summerton, Jasper, and Adamsville. Investigators searched roughly 500 acres on Thursday alone. There were 161 volunteers and 126 law enforcement officers. More than 100 volunteers returned on Friday. John's mother, Angel Boley, moved to Florida about a year ago and is the guest services director at Day Spring Camp and Conference Center, which is in Epicos. I'm not going to try that right now. I need to figure out how to use Google, but that word, retreat facility. She previously worked at Camp McDowell in Alabama. She has since traveled back to Alabama following her son's disappearance. Anyone with information is asked to call the sheriff's office at 205-384-7218. I don't think the explosions are related to John's death because at the beginning of the article, it says Sheriff Nick Smith said there were no immediate signs of foul play, and it appears the boy wandered off while playing with his brother. How that boy got wherever he got and didn't walk across any of them explosives was a miracle in itself. I wish that he would have been found safe. That is some insane shit. Abraham said, yeah, it sounds like he was making TNT because I don't think Bomb Squad will come in for a math lab. I don't think. Yeah, not unless they they had burners on or something and it was just in that moment where it could explode at any time. Tom said, excuse me, can you tell me what aisle the meth lab is on, please? Like, how fucking high do you have to be to go in a Walmart and start trying to make meth? Oh, really, Nicole? I didn't hear that. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad you're going to be a grandma. That's so awesome. What a blessing. I'm super excited for you. That's awesome, Nicole. Congratulations. I'll give you an amazing from Basil.
Amazing!
That's so awesome, sweetheart. Congratulations. You posted the article. I'll have to see if I can pull it up on my page. Abella said, aisle 3, 2, 1, boom. I have a paint roller, size lint roller for my bed because Rocco, oh my goodness. Yeah, 5 days a year. Visitation 5 days a year, which makes sense, unfortunately. My goodness. That's really sad. DJ asked me to drop his link, so I'm going to drop this one. That's DJ's page if you guys want to go subscribe to him. It's my first amazing. Really? Well, I'm super excited for you. That's such a wonderful thing. Becoming a grandmother for the first time is amazing, and I'm super excited for you and super happy. I mean, that's just a blessing. I'm looking. I don't really have much else to talk about, but we can go through the news and see what's going on. Oh my God. I got to tell y'all about something. Mustang, good to see you. Did y'all hear that Trump went in and pulled the Venezuela president out? Venezuela president out. Let's go to X. Happy New Year. Rosie Mustang told you Happy New Year, my love. Oh, there's one right there. What the hell? I saw pictures of that where they were talking about him with a Hold on. Good Lord in the morning. I didn't mean to blow y'all's eardrums. I'm going to mute it. Well, I'm going to turn it down real low. Maybe I won't get in trouble. So here's the Venezuela president with Diddy. That's true. That's true. Lord have mercy. Yeah, evidently the president that was supposed to be president is now able to be president because he was taken out of there. But the problem is that with the drug cartels down there, they run things, and then you have people like I heard that allegedly they went to the zoo and was eating some of the animals because they were starving that bad. What happened was the people were so poor and were starving at one point, and then the cartels would come in and they would feed them and they would provide them with what they needed so that they would have the people in the community's allegiance. And so you have all these people in the community that will protect the cartel. And so they can't ever eradicate it completely. Nicole said the people of Venezuela are celebrating in the street and Americans are talking crap about Trump. I take the reaction of the local people before I listen to someone talking out of their butt. That's what says the most about me. That's what says the most to me. I'm going to pay attention to what the people of Venezuela are saying. What is this? I mean, I don't know if we should be doing all this, but what the? Hold on a minute. I don't think this is real. This might be AI, y'all. Let's see. It says Venezuela leader Maduro traveling the streets of New York. That looks fake to me. This is probably AI, y'all. I just want to warn you. Let me turn this down before I blow somebody's damn eardrums again. I'm glad I did. Yeah, that's fake. It doesn't speed up that fast, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. That's weird. I think that's fake. I saw where he was landing. What the hell? I think this is where they brought him in. Yeah, 100% fake. I think so. That one might be real. I don't disagree with you on that either. When they send you kids to war, then we can talk about how to lose your own kids to save the Venezuela people straight in the streets. Yeah, so that happened. This is what I saw where they were flying in to get him out of there. Now that looked fake. That's back of the plane came down, but there's footage of it like that. See, a lot of this shit's so fucking fake. All right. So yeah, that happened in the news. Now let's go to the actual news. Well, not that that's not actual news, but like the news on my opening page and see what's going on. I think they got that picture that looks like it was from that video right there. So I think that one video we just saw was right because that looks like him coming out of the back of that vehicle. Yeah, I'm on board with changing subjects too. I don't do politics. Yeah, I don't want to do politics too much. Did you see the speech where the president of Venezuela was daring Trump to come get him and he called Trump a coward? I did not. I did not. We are not going to war with Venezuela. No. If drugs were the issue, he wouldn't have just pardoned another president indicted for bringing 400 tons of them in the U.S. This is only about oil. I don't disagree with you on that either. And the war on drugs and us trying to help South America has been going on for like 50 years. Ain't shit changed. Meanwhile, from what I heard, allegedly, the what you need to make fentanyl is coming in massive droves from China. So, you know, this is Kuwait all over again. The Persian Gulf War started this way. I'm not real educated on history, so. True, nobody's talking about the Epstein files anymore. That's true. I don't know if Trump did it to distract, but I do know that not a lot of people are talking about the Epstein files. You're right about that. So what else is going on? Yeah, we're just chilling today. I wanted to talk to you briefly about John and Sydney. A stolen shipping container with over 200,000 in merchandise was found in California. Oh my God. I've seen a couple things about this. There was a helicopter. Says Arizona helicopter crash kills 4 after hitting slackline in canyon. I'll give you a trigger warning. Evidently, this is footage of it, and it's triggering. Watches deadly fire. Oh, that's not it. I'm sorry. So a helicopter crash on January 2nd claimed the lives of 4 family members from Oregon in a remote area of Pinal County, Arizona. Officials said the aircraft struck a slack line stretched across the canyon just before 11 a.m. local time. The helicopter crashed in Telegraph Canyon, south of Superior, about 65 miles east of Phoenix, according to the Pinal County Sheriff's Office. Search and rescue teams reached the wreckage later that evening, confirming 4 fatalities, according to the Pinal County Sheriff's Office. The Federal Aviation Administration and National Transportation Safety Board were investigating the crash. Family members have identified the 4 passengers: David McCarty, 59, Rachel McCarty, 23, Faith McCarty, 21, and Caitlin Heidman, 22. The identities have not yet been officially released by the Pinal County Sheriff's Office. Public records indicate that David McCarthy was the owner of Columbia Basin Helicopters, a professional helicopter service company based out of LaGrange, Oregon. The helicopter in the crash was an MD-369FF. It was not immediately clear whether McCarty's company or its aircraft were involved in the crash. Mary Jane Heidman, Caitlin Heidman's mother, and Rachel and Faith McCarty's aunt, told the Arizona Republic, part of the USA Today network, that the loss of 4 family members has been devastating. Okay, I guess I can't make it big. They're not showing the actual plane crash, it's just showing the canyon. I'm glad Maduro's getting what he deserves, but I don't want other nations being emboldened by this. Like it or not, with our own issues, we are an example to the rest of the world. I agree with that. That would not be a good idea. That is really sad. The whole family gone. I don't know what a slack line is. I'm thinking like a telephone line across the canyon or something. So it says, what caused the helicopter to crash? An eyewitness reported seeing the helicopter strike a portion of the slack line before falling to the bottom of the canyon, according to the sheriff's office. Quote, preliminary evidence indicates a recreational slack line more than 1 kilometer long had been strung across the mountain range. So maybe it's like a zip line or something you would like ride the carts up the canyon to get to the top, is what I'm thinking. Um, the FAA had been informed of the aviation marked slackline and issued a notice to air missions, or NOTAM, before the crash, the International Slackline Association said in a statement. Quote, no highliners were on the line at the moment of the incident. So I'm thinking it's one of those lines that carries, like, you ride it up the mountainside and you can like go up on the mountain, kind of like a ski lift. The association said in a statement, we extend our deepest sympathy to and condolences to all of those affected by this tragic event. Federal aviation records show that NOTAM had been issued to its pilots warning them of a tightrope obstruction in the area at the time of the crash. The notice described a flagged and lighted rope with a 1 nautical mile radius of the site at an altitude of about 600 feet above ground level. What is a slackline? A slackline is a narrow length of nylon or polyester webbing anchored between 2 points to allow individuals to balance or walk across, according to Slackline US, a nonprofit that promotes the sport. I'm going to pull that up. So it's one of those things you walk on. Hey, Norma, good to see you. Yeah. When I see those, I think of a daggum toe strap. I'm so ready to never hear about a plane crash. Yeah, the amount of plane crashes that have been happening lately is absolutely insane. I didn't know ziplining was a sport either. Highlining is the practice of balancing on a slack line at great heights, including across canyons and between cliffs. The helicopter departed from Pegasus Air Park in Queen Creek, according to the Pinal County Sheriff's Office. Officials have not released information about the helicopter's destination. What the fuck? 29 deceased dogs, no remorse, not guilty. A Boone County dog breeder is now facing the kind of criminal case that leaves people sick to their stomach, even before a jury even ever hears the evidence. In reporting by Peyton Busselman for Webster County Citizen, breeder Melissa Sanders pleaded not guilty at an arraignment to 29 felony animal abuse charges tied to dogs that investigators say died while in her care. Busselman reported that Sanders appeared virtually from the Phelps County Jail and her attorney entered a plea on her behalf. The court schedule is already moving forward. Busselman said Sanders' attorneys requested another bond hearing set for 8:30 a.m. on January 6th, and a Boone County judge ordered a home detention study at a prior hearing. Right now, the legal posture is simple. Sanders is presumed innocent in court, but the allegations described in court filings are horrifying, and that combination tends to ignite public anger fast. And when a case involved animals, especially dogs, people don't just get upset, they get personally offended, like a basic social rule has been smashed. Busselman reported that Sanders ran a German Shepherd breeding and boarding operation called Magnum Opus German Shepherds on her Boone County property. According to Busselman's summary of court documents and statements officials made to the news, the property was raided by the Boone County Sheriff's Office and Columbia Boone County Animal Control on November 13th. This is a post that says 29 dogs dead, no remorse, not guilty. She's been locked up without bond since her arrest in mid-November. According to documents, investigators raided her property on November 13th and found more than a dozen dead dogs in various stages of decomposition, puppies left without food or water, living dogs severely malnourished, 2 near death from starvation, conditions so extreme that some dogs appeared to be eating deceased dogs. Jesus Christ. Sanders was arrested during a traffic stop and declined to answer questions about the dogs. The dogs that survived were transferred to the Central Missouri Humane Society. A judge later ruled the organization could retain custody, and all adult dogs were returned to their original owners by the court-ordered deadline. What the fuck? So she's holding dogs there for people who are paying for her to care for them, and she's letting them die? What the fuck? Hell no. Burn her at the stake. Jesus. There she is. Fuck that bitch. You saw the body cam on it? Let me see if I can pull that up. Fuck that bitch. Her name is Melissa Sanders. Let's see what we can find. Stop it. I don't see the body cam specifically. I can't look at videos of this, y'all. I can't do it. So is it Nebraska? Oh, it's a woman from Nebraska. Let me try on Google. No body cam. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I typed it in Google and that's all I got. Fuck that bitch. I hope they throw the fucking book at her. I can't go through that. I can't watch the news articles on it. I will fucking cry. That shit's just wrong. That them animals didn't ask to be in your care. They trust you. I can't. I cannot. Right. And it's people who think like that deserve to rot in hell, in my opinion. Someone came to fix the internet and reported the horrible conditions, and the woman got arrested. Well, that's good. 45 minutes of cam footage. Hey, Norma, good to see you. It's too early for body cam. That takes at least 30 days. Yeah, you're right. Actually, thank you about that. While we're on it, before we go, because I don't really have a lot to talk about, I'm going to see if I've got anything in my Gmail that we haven't talked about. I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't see anything. Yep. I don't have anything back yet, but it's been the holidays, so. No, I'm not going to show it. I don't think I could handle it either. Well, yeah, mine do too. My my geese have blankets. Like I put down blankets every night for them to lay on. That get cleaned quite frequently. I can't do all that shit. Fuck that noise. If I leave my dogs with someone to watch them while I'm gone and come back and they're harmed in any way, y'all gonna see me on the news for fucking people up. Yep.
Boom, 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 bop, bam.
I hate that shit. Them dogs starving. Like you couldn't get up off your lazy fucking ass and feed that animal. Mm-mm. When the body came out of the one bird breeding parrot farm come out, I couldn't watch that either. Fuck that. Mine does too. I'm scratching his belly. I'm surprised he's not asking me to feed him grapes. But we love them and we would. You know we would. All right, y'all. I'm going to end it for today because I didn't really have a lot to discuss. I'm going to work on trying to get some things together for tomorrow. I might go ahead and submit some more FOIA requests and see what I get back. I'm still waiting on quite a few. Take forever and a day. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day. I would too, right? Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with me today, talking about John. That's just such a sad story. And Sydney and the Venezuela president and that fucking cunt that deserves to die. I babysat dogs and their mom made them pot roast in the crock pot. That's so sweet. That is so sweet. All right, y'all. I really appreciate y'all. And thank you for hanging out. If you don't mind, if you would twinkle over to that thumbs up before you go. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank you so very much for hanging out. Thank you for being here. And thank you for Edith. Thank you to Edith for gifting that membership to Indy. I really appreciate it. I love you guys. If nobody's told you, you are enough, you are important, you are special, and you are loved. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.